Dr. Zoe Draelos, for those who know her in the academic world and also in the science world. She's one of the leading researchers in skin and wellness, which is interesting because a lot of people think when we go wellness, we're not talking about skincare or beauty anymore.
Yeah.
And absolutely, it's core to what we do.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that later. But the reality is that Zoe was so intrigued with our new transition to go from the scanner, which was very it was a wonderful device,
Yeah.
but is it
Big,
scalable?
clunky.
A little costly.
Yeah.
A little costly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's harder to do it. And so you're saying, okay, can we really deliver something in a small little unit like that? So quite honestly, Dr. Draelos was a little concerned.
Yeah.
She said, all right, I appreciate you guys. Nu Skin's always been a foundation for science and
Yeah.
credibility, but do you really think you can get it down to a small little? I mean, almost nobody believed it, right?
Right.
And so she wanted to lead out on the research to prove it because if she's part of our scientific advisory board, she wants to be able to know for a
It
certainty.
reflects on her.
That's right.
It's her brand.
That's right.
Yeah.
So she's out in North Carolina and she went to work and she wasn't there to prove it's right.
Right.
She was actually there to maybe
Yeah.
give us some information and say, hey, you guys need to be careful here. And she actually said, I can't believe the results. And
Wow.
she shared those with Melanie Riggs and the team there in the science department. And
Man.
we said, wow, that's fantastic.
I get goosebumps when I hear that. That's incredible. So when did that study come out?
Oh, it's just within the last 2 months.
Within the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Gosh, we're moving at light speed here
Yeah.
in Nu Skin. Okay, so that's the blood serum test that
Yep.
basically says that Prism it correlates incredibly well, highly with the blood serum test, which is going to be the gold
Yeah.
standard.
The actual quote is, it validates that Prism IO is a non-invasive, credible way to understand nutritional antioxidant status.
That is incredible. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the Jiao Tong study,
Yep.
because just to give a little bit of background, and I'm going to tell you, I did not know Jiao Tong before I started hearing about it, that we were doing a study there. But in coming to find out, Jiao Tong is one of the premier universities
Oh, yeah.
in China,
In the world.
and so they conducted a study. And tell us a little bit about this study and what were some of the findings from the Jiao Tong study.
Well, it's really important to note there's a lot of universities that can do studies. And sometimes people will claim, oh, this university did the study.
Yeah.
There's a difference between universities
Yeah.
and universities that are research universities.
Yeah.
And Jiao Tong is known as a research university, similar to Stanford Medicine and similar to Yonsei and
Yeah.
so forth. So these were all selected based upon their credibility and their commitment to research.
Yeah.
And so what we wanted to understand in the studies that we did in Jiao Tong, which was actually revolutionary, the amount of people that were involved in this study was highly significant.
Yeah.
And so we were able to essentially, and I want to make sure I get the exact verbiage right, because for me, credibility stems from actually saying the correct verbiage. It says the Prism IO reflects real world nutrition and lifestyle patterns. Now, a lot of people say, well, that didn't say a whole lot.
Yeah.
It actually says quite a bit,
Yeah.
because let's start talking about real life. Real life isn't just supplements.
Right.
Real life isn't just like being Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect or Miss it's like literally living through sun exposure, stress, through people who are difficult to work with like me, and and dealing with just the life that we live. Less sleep. I mean, our bodies repair at night.
Yeah.
We sleep for a reason.
Yeah.
And so what this study did is it's okay, let's take all these factors of lifestyle.
So it's pulling in all the behaviors.
That's right.
All the behaviors. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I just was talking to somebody last night, one of our
Yeah.
great leaders, and she goes, Steve, she goes, I can't do this pre-programmed, like, I got to do this. You're giving me another list of things to do. I can't do it anymore. I can't do all these lists. I mean, I'm trying the best I can to raise kids and like just try to live my life. And now I've got all this task list. I'm saying, no, kill the task list. And she goes, I already did. And she goes, I'm going to start with one thing. I said, great. She goes, I'm going to supplement.
Yeah.
And she goes, when I get some exercise in, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And when I get some opportunities to get food choices, make better food choices, I've got that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and just boom, 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 boom. Now, if I can, I will.
Yeah.
But let's not make it too hard, not too regimented. And that's what this whole lifestyle is about. It says UV exposure, diet quality, physical activity, gut health, immune health, vitality, skin attributes, and sleep. So when I bring skin attributes back to it, because we talk about intelligent wellness, in fact, we had that on the file. Think about it this: we are an intelligent beauty and wellness company, and we have been since really 1984, because we said all the good, none of the bad.
Yeah.
think about sunless tanner just for a second. I know this is kind of a stretch. You're going, what? Sunless tanner? Where do we go? All right. I received this message from Melanie, one of our head researchers, this morning, and she said, Steve, you got to understand, this is a big deal. If you look at sunless tanner, people don't consider that a Prism product, right? Yeah. Well, we've got spring coming, and we know sunless tanner, people love it.
Yeah.
Sun exposure is a big deal. It's a significant deal. So, this is what she wrote. Prism.io turns skin longevity from a promise into practice, connecting daily skincare, nutrition, and lifestyle into one intelligent, measurable routine. So, for instance, because sunlight is a part of our life, chronic unprotected UV exposure is also one of the most well-studied external stressors on the skin. Okay, so over time, it contributes to oxidative stress, the same biological pressure linked to changes we associate with premature skin aging. That's why sunless tanner is so important. That's why, for instance, Radiant Day from True Face is so important. And people say, wait a second, I thought they were just going to talk about wellness. And we are. We're still talking about wellness.
Yeah.
And we're talking about skincare because skin's our biggest organ.
Yeah.
And we got to take care of that too.
Yeah. Man, that's incredible. So, Steve, I want to dive into kind of some of the nutritional stuff from Jiao Tong, because when there was a lot that came out in that study, when I was reading over it, it talked about sun exposure. It talked about sleep. It talked about alcohol consumption. So it's like all the things that are bombarding our bodies and causing these stressors, the oxidative stress. But it also talked about specifically nutrition. Like there was correlations between certain things that we eat, categories of foods, and whether that increased your score or pulled your score down. So a couple of the things that I saw that it had outlined in there that were good for our score, that helped bring it, not that it helped bring it up, but it was corollary.
Right.
Was nut consumption.
That's right.
Grain consumption. Obviously dark colored fruits and vegetables, because we know that those are like steeped with these carotenoids and antioxidants. Fish was on there. But here's the question. When I saw that, I was like, there's a correlation here. And we know that in science, correlation does not equal causation. But here's the question is like, knowing that correlation was there, is it more about the individuals that eat a healthy diet like that they just naturally are going to have a higher score because they live maybe a more, healthy life, that they have got better behaviors? Or is it that those individual, foods are protective against oxidative stress?
Right.
Any thoughts on that? Or do we know, or does that lead to more research?
Sure. So we have 3 hours for the call.
Yeah, we do.
Is that right?
Well, we've got 15 more minutes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm so glad you brought up this relationship of causation and correlation.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand the difference, and we're not saying in any way that the supplements we have here at Nu Skin can cause or create this. We don't treat, mitigate any disease. That's not what we do. Where we are focused on is the correlation piece.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say a word that sounds really sciencey, but it's really not. It's epidemiological.
Yeah.
Epidemiological is essentially a study of an area of the world, like you talk about blue zones at one point in time. I think Ryan mentioned that. Okay, what's happening in Okinawa that makes this opportunity for people to be 100 years old? So if you just take one piece of it and you say, well, they eat fish. Well, then if you eat fish, you're going to make it to 100.
Yeah.
That's absolutely incorrect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, it could be helpful. It could be one of the correlated benefits that could drive it, but it's not the cause of getting to 100 years old. Okay. So I think that's the most important thing, because we sound so unprofessional as a company and as leaders if we're out there saying, and this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Yeah.
All we're trying to say is this is going to increase your opportunity for better opportunities for your health and wellness. And so specifically, the correlation made at Jiao Tong was this amazing reference to not just overall, say, energy or vitality or something like that, but everything you talked about, which is, look, we continue to see the evidence show us that when we score people with Prism.io, the higher the score that they had, typically it correlated to the fact that they had less UV exposure.
Yeah.
They had more consumption of fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
They had more consistent movement.
Yeah.
Movement is wellness. I mean,
Yeah.
we talk about New Move 30,
Yeah.
right? I mean, movement is wellness, meaning that people, you don't have to do like a triathlon for heaven's sakes.
Yeah.
Gardening,
Yeah.
walking,
Yeah.
like it doesn't have to change overnight. Going back to this comment we had last night, you have to change every single thing you're doing in your life. Just make incremental changes in your life
Yeah.
as you can because people are counting on you.
Yeah. That's great, Steve. And it tells you the holistic picture
Yeah.
of like getting your health. I will say, after reading the Jiao Tong study, I have been consuming more nuts just because I saw that
Yeah.
I saw that it was on there, that it was part of the study. But you guys, we have our CEO that's joined us. He was having some technical difficulties, but Ryan Napierski's on with us, coming in from a tech summit right now. So Ryan, are you there?
I am here. Do you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, listen, guys. Sorry, Steve. I love where you were going with it, and didn't mean to interrupt it. I'm just dialing in here. Yeah, I'm up at a tech summit where we're actually going to we're heading into the next evolution of health up here, and specifically, the future of medicine 3.0. In other words, prevention, right, versus treating symptoms. And man, it aligns perfectly. In fact, I just spoke with a guy downstairs that I knew in college. He said, "Are you speaking on main stage here? Because I see what you guys are doing with Prism." So we got like Mark Cuban speaking. We've got other guys. I said, "No, I'm not speaking there this year, but next year we need to be talking about the role of Prism IO in preventative health and what we're doing." So, anyways,
I love that, Ryan. Hey, I've got a question, because
yeah,
I think we've already, at least what I've heard, you guys can validate this for me, but I've heard that we've surpassed already. Last time we got together, we were at roughly 350,000 scans. I hear that we're at around 600,000 scans already. Is that true? And if that's true, how is that improving the what we're getting out of the outputs from Prism?
We only have Ryan
yes.
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, yeah. No, Steve can dive into that. Buck, what I'm so impressed with so far, and by the way, this call, we've got how many people on this call right now? 368 people. So this call is going up every week, and as we're starting to see the effects. But what I love to see is as everyone is using Prism daily, weekly, and I know we can dive into that because this is top of mind for me. I've been asked a lot about, Ryan, why are you scanning every single day? When with the clinicals might push us more towards 30-day periods, or I know Steve's working on some other clinicals right now that might push it faster. But yeah, what I love to see, Buck, around these 600 plus thousand scans, is that we are seeing people utilizing this brand new technology and learning this new biomarker, this nutritional health score. It's a new biomarker that the world just doesn't have. And I was doing a little bit of rabbit holing over the weekend on basically biomarkers and how recently, we all know these biomarkers are critical to health, and HRV and VO2 max, and now we're seeing sleep scores. I mean, all these things are amazing. But nobody has a nutritional health score. And yet the most important thing that we learn from childhood is eat your fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Eat a healthy, balanced diet. We've never been able to quantify the why behind the what until now. And so when I think about the impact of this nutritional health score biomarker, and then I see 600,000 people tracking it every single day, man, I can't give any forecasts out here because I don't want to get in trouble. But we're learning so much about nutritional health and nutritional health scoring, and it's showing that we're using it daily, which kind of leads back to my point of why am I scanning daily? And we all know there's three reasons why I scan every single day. Number one, we are creatures of habit. So what gets measured gets improved. If I'm not working out every day with my Garmin and I'm tracking my heart rate variability, and my VO2 max, now does it change from Monday to Wednesday to Friday when I do cardio days, or when I'm doing anaerobic weightlifting on Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays? Yeah, it does change every single day. And it's affected by all kinds of things. How ready am I for my training readiness, my diet the night before, my sleep. So I'm tracking this every month or every day so that I learn about it. But more importantly, I'm tracking this over time because it's over time that matters, right? From the day to the week to the month. But so that's number one. Number two, we all know healthy habits are established on frequency. So if you're scanning yourself once a month, the probability of your nutritional health being top of mind is less. But if you're scanning yourself every day, I'm telling you, I'm thinking about what I'm eating, how I'm sleeping, like all the causal work, as well as the correlative work, right? So the causality is all around the supplementation itself, intakes of carotenoids, meaning we have actual causality, and Steve can dive deeper into that because I'm talking too much. But versus correlations, or assessments, what Steve was just talking about around the sleep side, or around the stress side, or around the sun, the UV protection or UV radiation. Those are the lifestyle in that. So that's number two is why I'm scanning every day. Number three, I'm trying to learn the human impact of a brand new biomarker that's never before been, and there's no better way to lab test it on myself, right? If I'm scanning myself every day and I'm looking at the app and I'm trying to scan, learn, subscribe, if I'm doing that scan, learn, subscribe, or scan, learn, supplement every single day, I'm learning about it, and that's the importance of the daily action. So to me, that's what it's all about, and I want to see us get to 1 million scans. Like literally a million scans a week. I mean, we can do that if we just get, now it's going to be all Prism placements out there, but we can get that. Imagine the data. We have 26 million scans today in our database, but we're increasing, 600,000 in the first 6 weeks? That's 100,000 a day. Can we get that to 1 million a day? And when we do, how smart is this Prism going to be? I mean, that's what this is all about. This army of people on the call. And by the way, we need to get 3,600 and then 36,000, then 360,000, and 3.6 million people on this call. We're going to be pushing so much data and then be able to derive intelligence around nutritional health, which I believe is the most important biomarker of them all. So with that, I'll shut up.
No, Ryan, that is perfect. I scan every single day as well, because to me, it's important to see fluctuations, and if I see that go down, I'm like, am I feeling okay? Am I sick? Like, am I sleeping well? Have I been traveling? It starts like I go through a cadre of just different questions to understand what has my lifestyle been like over the last week? What do I need to get back on track? How has my nutrition been? Have I been on track with my supplementation to bring that score back into range? Because to your point, you can't change anything that you're not measuring. And what Prism does, not just for us, but I mean, for everybody, is allowing them to see into what their bodies are saying and what they need and how to move forward. It's like giving your body a microphone, and that body needs a microphone every single day, not just once a month. Steve, did you have any thoughts on this?
No, well, it's interesting. Ryan brought up the number of scans. It's 670,235 to be specific. Just make sure it's clear.
Okay.
I just want to let you know. So, but here's
236. I just scanned myself, Steve.
Okay, thanks. Oh, it did change. Let me update. No, but here's some interesting facts that I think people should know about. And like Ryan said, we got to be careful with what we share. But think about this for a second. If you look at the data, we now have real-time data coming in and flowing in on a consistent basis, right? It's almost like we talked about this smart car. Well, now we have a smart device that's actually real-time getting us insights. When you look at our leaders that have the device, they're scanning roughly 80% of them are in the blues and the greens and the purples,
right?
80% of them.
Yeah.
But 20% are in those yellow, red, orange ranges, right? If you look at the numbers from a scannee standpoint, these are guests, as we're calling them, or people who you're scanning outside of yourself. Guess how many are scanning in the yellow, red, and orange of those?
I'm guessing it's the opposite, 80%.
It's at least 50%.
50, okay.
50%. And then the balance of them are in the green for the most part, very few are in the purple and in the blue.
Can I ask a question for the crowd to just I want to hear you guys that are on here. You're probably on here because you have a Prism, you've been scanning people. What have you seen? as you're scanning guests, you're doing guest scans. What are you seeing in those individuals that you're scanning? Are you seeing exactly what Steve is saying, that 50% of them are in the red, orange, and yellow? Tell us in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys.
The reason I think this is important is this is a great testament to the fact that if you're somebody who leads and you believe in what you're doing and you're using the product, you're a product of the product, as we say, the results show.
Yeah.
And there's so many people who need what we have, and just the limited amount of work that we've done on these 670,000 scans, you can see it consistently.
Yeah, when I started at Nu Skin, I was in the orange yellow.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell this story all the time. Ricky and we were scanning, and we were both we were up in Canada doing an event with that team in Ontario, and we both scanned for the first time. And I was like, oh, well, I have no idea what that means. But Ricky, it made her mad because I beat her. And she had this chip on her shoulder this entire time. Now she's killing me. She's like high purples, and I'm, in the blues, which is fine.
It's the pizza.
It's the pizza. Yeah, it could be the pizza. But yeah, I love where we're heading with this, and the amount of data that we have flowing in, and the scans, and how we're being able to see the differentiation between our affiliates and guests is incredibly powerful.
The really important part I want to bring up on this one issue is Ryan's headed at a tech conference, right?
Yeah.
Why is he there? If you say, well, that's technology. We would not have Prism had not Ryan, our CEO, leaned into technology and say, there's a bigger picture here. There's a bigger vision. We got to go the next 40 years. We can't live off of what we did in the past. We have to go forward. And so the fact that we have the vision and the willingness to embrace technology, put it in the palm of your hands, we would not have been able to do that had Ryan not. And it wasn't easy. I mean, I'll just give you a little back of the napkin. I mean, there was a lot of people pushing back. That costs money. It costs time. It costs energy. Do we really want to go here? And he pushed through all of that and gave us the ability to see the vision bigger than what we currently have looked at. And we're saying, let's go build a much bigger Nu Skin. Let's go help the world. The only way we're going to do it is if we get everybody here, and we have the opportunity to do that now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Ryan, I don't know if he's still there, but is he still there?
Yeah.
I just want to say I appreciate what you've done, Ryan.
Yeah. No, listen. Well, guys, no, we all know it's not about us at all. It's really about empowering this group of people on the call with what we're doing. But we have been, and Buck, I know we have a special guest. I want to get to her because and just I'll comment on that in just a moment. But to your point, Steve, we have known for over a decade now, and I mean since 2016, the first strategy session under a prior CEO, Truman Hunt. He asked the question, what will be the future of beauty and wellness? And at the time, we identified intelligent beauty and wellness, data-driven, insights-driven, personalization is where the world's heading. Now, fast forward to where we are today, and intelligent wellness is, in fact, what everyone is talking about. How do we measure? How do we understand? How do we know what our health is all about? And again, as we're not going to talk about it today, but intelligent beauty is part of this journey. Beauty begins on the inside out. We all know the benefits, and again, another rabbit hole we can all go down later. We all know the importance that beauty starts on the inside. That's why we have great products like collagen. That's why we have great topicals like in our True Face line, Radiant Day, protecting its UV. All of the correlative data that Steve referenced is there. So as we go forward, we know intelligent, meaning data-driven insights, is what will power the beauty and wellness industry. It is powering it, and it will be the thing powering it because it's powering every aspect of our lives. And technology is just the means to that end. And what we're doing with AI now to take all of these literally petabytes of data that we now have on our platform to gather the insights that will give the personal experience. That's what this is all about. So this is amazing. And I know we're going to shift a little bit of the gear into then. So who are doing it? And what I'm fascinated with right now is we have an amazing beauty side of our business and folks that have been just powering it with social media. The reach of social is amazing and impressive, doing that with beauty. And now we're seeing these folks cross over to wellness. And to me, what's so impressive to see how congruent beauty and wellness truly is, and the rich understanding already that exists. that this is all about understanding the inside and the outside working together and holistically improving wellness, which is both inside and out. So anyways, Buck, I'll turn the time back to you, and I'm putting it on mute and I'm not coming off mute.
No, Ryan, I really appreciate that, because that's what it is. I mean, even in the Jiao Tong study, they showed the impact of your scan score, and the higher the scan score, the better the outward appearance. So the integrated beauty and wellness, it's happening now with Prism. Steve, any closing comments?
I really appreciate what Ryan said there. And it's people that power this business.
Yeah.
I mean, if we really go back, we've got 80 clinical studies. We just are finishing up these 4 mega studies that are going to be, literally groundbreaking for our industry and for the world. We have thousands of clinicals. We have tons of science and so forth. This device is amazing. It's not the end game.
Yeah.
The end game is a healthy home.
Right.
Individuals, when I get text messages, I get videos of my daughter went to the refrigerator and says, how do I increase my score again? What's the vegetable? And it's the first time they're saying things like this. I mean, and when you see that type of thing, you see that people are where we're really going for. As Ryan said, he says it's what really makes the magic happen. You can have all these studies, you have all this information, but people are what power this business. Social connections, what powers this business. What's interesting is the Surgeon General in 2023 said, essentially, social disconnection is the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day.
That's crazy.
Social disconnection.
Yeah.
We invite people to connect, to literally talk to people and invite them on this health journey together. And this next guest that's coming on does it better than anybody I've ever seen. So, I mean, it's really exciting to have this discussion and to be able to know that, it's Prism.io and it's technology. And Ryan, I love technology. You love technology. But it's not about the technology. It's about people.
That's right.